Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and I'm playing a little bit more Layton X Right. It should be, like, I don't know. I debate on the title of this game every single time I start it. It doesn't feel quite right. Anyway, now enough about that. How's everybody doing in the chat rooms? Everybody enjoying yourselves? I hope so. Excuse me. Just open up a can. Anyways, let us begin. So the last time that we played this, I was in the middle of a trial where, unfortunately, we are down one Layton, and he's been turned into gold, and we're trying to figure out the mystery of just like, how did this happen? What witch? Who is the witch? And is there any way we could possibly turn him back? And we have discovered that apparently a little runt of the litter has decided to turn him over to gold, or we think it's him. Or her, as we are apparently saying. I believe it was Grey Earl, based on, like, Earl Grey tea. Very clever stuff. But anyways, let us move over to that tab. We will begin. Here we are. Alright, excited to see. So it's gotta be that, young Butler. I know what you're thinking. I couldn't quite believe it at first either. But the evidence and circumstances all point to the Butler. He, or she, has to be a witch. At least, it'll be certain if the magic gems turn out to be a fake. Well, I don't know. I got this strange suspicion that it's gonna turn out that all of it is frickin' real. But if that's the case, then Belduke's murderer was also... Yeah, it would be Grey Earl. No, it can't be true. He wouldn't have done that. You don't know him, madam. I mean, maybe you know him, but you don't actually know him. To be fair, we don't know him either. But, you know. Isabella? I know, Jean. He held Sir Belduke in the greatest of respect. Jean didn't kill him. I'm sure of it. Jean Grey Earl, are you really what people think you are? There are still so many unknown factors in this trial. Right, and you little traitor! It's Luke! I'm sorry, Maya. What I did is unforgivable. Oh. No, don't turn tail and come back here. What are you saying, Luke? All you did was testify about what you saw. But, I shouldn't have trusted you. Well... You trust us now, right? Anyway, Luke, it was thanks to you that we discovered new information. Thanks to me? Sure, you got Cracker to testify. That was a great idea. I wish I could talk to animals. Don't you too, Isabella? Oh, yes, I'd love to have a chat with Eve. So, Luke, will you teach us how to do it? Pretty please? That's a good question. Like, how do you know how to talk to animals? Yeah, of course. I can try. Yay! That's a promise, right? Nah, he still seems, like, disparaged. Mr. Wright? What is it, Luke? Do you mind if I join you from now on? Not at all, Luke. I realized during the trial that in this strange town, even what you see with your own eyes may not be real. That's why I'm not giving up yet. Professor, I know he'll return. We can't give up hope. Again, that depends whether or not we have a warlock, an alchemist, just somebody to turn him back. You know, that's what I've been thinking too. Really? I have a feeling he'll reappear again when we get into trouble and help us out. Because, I mean... It's the professor we're talking about here. And we all talk about like we know everybody here. No, we don't. Right. I remember what he always says. Look forward to the future. Always look on the bright side. Does he say that? I don't think it was the professor who said that. Always look on the bright side of life. Defender accused. The intermission's over. Return to the courtroom. Oh boy. No. Let's go. It's time to bring this trial to a close. Oh, I have something for you, Mr. Wright. Here, please take it. Maybe it'll come in handy in the trial. A letter, huh? Well, let's see who it's from. Wait. Newton Belduke! There are several sheets of parchment inside, but they're all blank. The professor and I got this when we went to see the storyteller. Thank you, Luke. The more info we have, the better. You're welcome. So how do we suddenly turn these pages into actual written language? I've got no proof that it was Jean Grey Earl who turned the professor into gold. Even if the magic gem is a fake, it's still not decisive evidence. I don't know what will happen next, but I do know this battle's far from over. Let's do this. We're fighting what appears to be a 10-year-old. And it is either a he or a she. Who knows? Or gender binary. I don't know.
We will now resume the trial of Maya Fey. First things first. The occult crime analysis have finished examining the evidence. They have tested the 2 magic gems from the witch's scepter. Goldor floated on the surface of the water, whereas a familiar sank.
Yep, that's exactly what we thought. It was said that genuine magic gems float in pure water, wasn't it?
Thus it has to been established that the familiar magic gem is a fake.
Right. That's good. One mystery solved.
Order in the court. This does not prove that Goldor was used, of course. Nonetheless, the defense's theory does now seem more plausible. The court considers it worth looking into. You have no objections to that, do you, Inquisitor Bottom?
I mean, yes, but... No, my lord. This is tomfoolery, but I'll go with it.
Now then, bring in the witness.
Yes. Oh, good. We're working with only one witness right now. That's good. Witness, state your name and profession. My name is Jean Grey Earl. I served the late Master Belduke. Since his death, I've been tending to his dwellings and putting his research materials in order. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something a bit different about Grey Earl today. Again, what is different about him? Is he possessed? Is this actually not Grey Earl? Like, is he kidnapped somewhere? Oh, it'll probably all unravel at some point.
Witness, there's something we need to clarify, first of all. As you are no doubt aware, you have been accused of being a witch.
Therefore, it is vital that you tell us. Are you a boy or a... What do you think he's gonna... Dude, it's either going to, like... How are we going to prove this aside from just, like, take off your pants right here in court? I don't know. How's my day? Pretty good, Tim. How about your day? Please, hold on.
Why? What is it?
Excuse my rudeness, my lord, but at this time, I do not intend to answer that question. Of course you don't. Why do you refuse to answer, witness? That's good. That's good. I had been following this trial from the gallery, and so am fully aware of the utterly absurd accusations made against me. Alchemy, the art perused by Master Belduke, is concerned with the rules and logic that govern nature. As someone who'd been helping Master Belduke for quite some time, I dare say your theory is both illogical and impossible. Objection. This court is about witches. Logic fell out of the stratosphere a long time ago. The witch's scepter was thrown into the crime scene through a portal created by the magical spell Godor. How do we know that? That portal could only have been opened from your room. And what's more, one of the walls in your room is painted green. I believe anyone is free to paint their walls in whichever color they please. Besides, your theory relies on one magic gem being a fake. While that may have been proven true, another question has arisen. Where could the genuine magic gem be? You swallowed it. It must have been swapped with the fake one and discarded somewhere. I'm afraid that's impossible.
Why?
If we assume, as you have claimed, the witch used the spell Godor, that would mean the magic gem must have been swapped after creating the portal. So, tell me, when and where would the witch have disposed of the magic gem? Didn't we discuss the idea that, I mean, there's no rules that state there isn't another staff sitting somewhere, as well as also there's no rules that state that it has to be a staff. So for all we know, you have some kind of a gem necklace hidden somewhere. I don't know.
I see your point. Several people have paid witness to the incident, and the Knights of the Inquisition arrived at the scene immediately after. During that time, no one left the building, and the whole place was meticulously searched. Naturally, my room was searched as well, although there was not much to see, as I have few personal belongings. Despite our inspection, nothing resembling a magic gem was found. I assure you, we have not overlooked anything. I would swear to it on my honor as a knight.
Crap! So, Mr. Wright, if you wish to accuse me of being a witch, should you not first prove that there is a connection between me and this missing magic gem? Furthermore, I would appreciate if you could please approach the matter in a rational way, like an alchemist.
By all means, teach me the tools of the trade. I don't know.
The house was searched very soon after the crime. If the gem wasn't found, then it means Grey Earl hid it somewhere. Somewhere the Knights of the Inquisition would not have looked. Where could it be?
The witness has made a valid argument. How will the defense respond?
I wonder how many shields I have. I don't remember. The knights who searched Sir Belduke's premise weren't looking for a magic gem. That's why there is a certain place that they didn't consider searching. Give me a moment. Because I'm not entirely sure myself. Certain place that they... Okay, it doesn't help that I am coming back after a week. Where could it have possibly been stowed?
Interesting. You really don't give up easily, do you? In that case, perhaps you could tell us all where the magic gem is.
In Belduke's study, in Grey Earl's room. In Grey Earl's possession. You know what? If it's not located in any of the rooms, I have to say he probably still has it. Sir Belduke's premise was thoroughly searched. I don't think anything would have been missed there. You anticipated that, and that's why you hid it in a blind spot that you knew wouldn't occur to the knights.
A blind spot, you say? Well, where is it?
It's somewhere on Jean Grey Earl's person.
What? It's on the witness? Don't tell me the witness has it in their pocket.
Directly up their ass.
Right up their ass, Morty. You're just guessing, aren't you? You think you can just say anything you like?
By the way, I'm afraid there are no pockets in my clothing.
Very telling of a lady. Whatever.
This is the second time I've seen Grey Earl today, and both times I've had a feeling that something wasn't quite right. Maybe it's just me, but it could be related to the whereabouts of the magic gem.
Defense, show us the location of the magic gem. Where do you think this witness hid the magic gem on the day of the crime?
Well, if there's any place that... underneath the moppy-haired nonsense going on there. No. I think... if it'd have to be somewhere... I wonder if maybe he's capped it off in his sleeve.
Got it!
It's hidden somewhere around here. Uh-oh. That sounds generic.
There you go again. This is not leading anywhere. It's just another meaningless wild guess. Did you even pause to think before pointing at that spot?
I did.
Even my frivolous quip, that's it, it's in the witness pocket, was a better suggestion than yours.
But sir, I would just like to remind you that there are no pockets in my attire. I was wrong. Dang it. I only had one shield. Shit.
There's no need for this trial to go any further. It has been proven beyond all doubt what the accused truly is. The court is ready to issue a verdict regarding Maya fate.
God damn it. Sorry, Maya burns in the fire. If it's not on his person in any way, shape, or form, all I can think is somewhere in the head.
Got it.
I don't know how the hell that would work, but it's hidden somewhere around. Nope.
Objection.
Unless this is a false positive. Like, maybe it turns out that this is absolutely 100% wrong. Show us the location of the magic gem in the study. Okay, so it looks like I do have an option to search in these places. Okay. Yeah, I have a hard time seeing that, You know what? I'm pretty sure this is wrong, probably. How about here? Nope. Okay, so this kind of sucks, only having one shield. Also, I'm a little bit nervous to actually save further than this, because if you can royally fuck up on this particular answer, I'd like to take a look at Grey Earl's room real quick. It's in Grey Earl's room. Did Inquisitor Bottom not say that my room was thoroughly searched?
Well then, defense, perhaps you would like to show us the location of the magic gem? Do you have a suggestion as to where it's hidden?
A good question. What would be a spot that they absolutely could not search from? Oh, fuck it. Let's see. Let's see if it works. How about here?
Objection.
Nope. My answer before is probably right. He's got to have it on him somewhere. Because if they did thorough searches, I can't think of any place that it could possibly be open for. Looks like Mixer had a bit of a hiccup. Let me see. Is it still... Oops. I pressed restart trial. Oops. Oh, nuts. Where does it start me? Oh, it actually starts me off right here. Does that allow me to get all of my shields back? I actually might want to just go ahead and skip through all this then. Okay, let me look at the menu real quick. All right, yeah, I have all my credibility points. So it's not in the sleeve. Not in the... Not really in the doofy hair. All I could think is perhaps this sort of cravat thing going on here.
Got it.
Oh, shit. Witness? We met for the first time at Sir Belduke's premises. At that time, you had an amethyst attached to your... Oh, that's right. And now it's gone.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Grey Earl always wears that gemstone.
Alchemists believe that amethysts emit positive energy. Amethysts are purple. But when I saw you in the waiting room this morning... Oh, that's strange. The gemstone you were wearing was green, not purple. It's very cool, calm, and collected. I don't like this. So my question is, where has it gone? Where is that amethyst that you supposedly always wear?
Objection.
Wait just a minute.
The witness wears a purple gemstone?
Is something amiss, Inquisitor Bottom?
You know something I don't. When we arrived at the crime scene, the witness came out to meet us. I recall the witness wearing a gemstone, but that gemstone was green. I don't know, is your memory faulty?
Green. Amethysts aren't green. Although amateurs sometimes mistake prazolite for amethyst, but that's irrelevant now.
Witness, you've been trying to pin the blame on the defendant. In order to do that, you replaced the Godor magic gem with a regular gemstone.
We thought the witch who killed Sir Belduke had used the spell from Malia. You knew that if a witch's scepter with the Familia and Goldor magic gems attached was discovered at the crime scene, the suspect would be accused of committing both crimes, and that's precisely what happened. The girl captured at the crime scene was accused of slaying both Sir Belduke and Sir Layton.
That was your plan. You removed the Godor magic stone from the scepter and inserted your amethyst in its place. And then, you attached Godor gem to your collar. That's why when we saw you shortly after the incident, you were wearing a green gemstone. To think that was in fact a magic gem! He still hasn't cracked. Or she, I don't know.
Order! Witness, is that true?
This amounts to nothing more than conjecture. I do not believe you have any solid proof. However,
Where's the gem? Did you throw it in the river?
concede that you have surmised a logical connection between me and the missing magic gem.
Does that mean we get to interrogate?
Consequently, I am prepared to answer your questions.
Hell yeah.
Good. I will repeat what I asked you previously. Witness, state your name, profession, and finally, your gender.
Ooh, yes.
My name is Jean Grail. I have been serving the late Master Belduke. As you can see, I wear a butler's outfit. But the truth is, as the defense claims, I am a girl.
Ha! Where the hell did that come from?
A girl? Unbelievable.
What?
Really?
The butler is a girl?
Again, I'm going to call silliness on the fact that apparently dudes cannot be witches.
Order, 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 order! Jean Grey Earl, are you declaring to this court that you are in fact female?
Yeah? Where were you the first, couple of seconds? I don't know. Yes.
But everyone in town was under the impression that you are a boy.
Did you hear that? The butler's a girl. Doesn't that make him, her, a maid? I knew there was something suspicious about him. Her, that they're just as confused as I am. You know what, right? Think about it. All that alchemy, that's mighty suspicious. Yes, no, it's clearly alchemy. Nothing more, nothing less. Just listen to them. Listen to the wild gossip of an accusation. Alchemists pursue knowledge of the rules that govern nature. But to the townspeople, alchemy is no different to magic. Had they known I was a girl, they would have taken me for a witch. That's what Master Belduke was worried about. He told me it would be safer to pretend to be a boy. In other words, you disclose that you're a female, but deny that you're a witch? Why would anyone ever say? I would have thought that was obvious. Exactly. She knew that once her gender came into question, she wouldn't have been able to conceal it. That's why she's made this public now. It was the most rational choice for her. Inquisitor Bonham, may I ask you one question? Has all the evidence in this Golden Gentleman case already been presented? Why do you ask? As it stands, you do not have a single piece of evidence proving that I am a witch. Given the lack of pertinent evidence against me, I would like to be permitted to return to my duties. But you said you would do questioning. No, stay here. Stay.
What do you say, Inquisitor Bottom?
Again, if you have any kind of spine whatsoever, you will question this lady. It has been proven that the two gems were swapped. However, it may also have been possible for the accused to have done so.
Objection!
Maya had no reason to swap the gems, according to you.
This is a place of judgment. There is no need for us to understand the reasons behind a criminal's actions.
I suppose that is true. You cannot mess with madness, and sometimes madness is the only thing and the only reason crime exists. After all, those whom we judge are otherworldly creatures. They are witches. It is impossible for a human being to understand the reasoning of a witch. Is there nothing we can...
Luke, calm down, calm down.
At this rate, Maya will... Barnum still thinks Maya is a witch. We've made it this far, and yet it feels like we're back at stage 1. It seems there are no more rational arguments against me. Now, if you will kindly excuse me. I don't have much on Grey Earl when it comes to the professor's case, but should I just let her go? Wait and see what happens. Continue questioning. Let's ask about another case. There's nothing else I can follow up on regards to the professor's case. So what can I do? There's only one other option. Look at it from the other perspective. Miss Grey Earl, I have to ask you to remain at the witness stand. Is there something else you wish to ask me? Your testimony is not over yet. There's still something you need to tell us about. Oh, don't you frown and shake your head at me. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I cannot help you. I have told you all I could about this incident. Yeah, this incident. And I'm afraid you've got the wrong idea, Miss Grey Earl. Your Honor, what this witness needs to testify about is not the professor's unfortunate incident, but rather the incident from 3 months ago, namely Sir Belduke's death. As she was present in the building at the time, working as a live-in butler, she needs to testify about the events of that day.
What about Sir Belduke's death?
We have an opening. The fact that one of the magic gems was swapped leads me to a single conclusion. Both crimes, the murder of Sir Belduke and the transmutation of the professor, were the work of the same witch. The truth behind the alchemist's death may also hold the answer to this case.
What is your opinion on this, Inquisitor Barnum?
Can you never make a decision on your own, Judge? I mean, I already know the answer, but come on.
I'll allow you to have your way this time, Sir Blue Knight. The Inquisition has no objections.
Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum, it seems you have lost that unyielding attitude so admired by the townspeople. Here you are now, letting a novice defender lead you by the nose. It is hard to believe you have been known as the unwavering sword of justice for your usually cool-headed judgment.
Don't you goad him! You know little about me, witness. Do you think I care about defending my name? It is this town that I wish to defend.
Ah, so jovial.
Sir Belduke's murder is the only case to have remained unsolved for so long. Jean Grey Earl, you shall now testify about it.
Let's knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Or pretty much the exact same bird, considering it's the same bird that killed them both.
As demanded by both the defense and Inquisition, the witness will testify about Sir Belduke's death. Any questions? No, my lord. I must, however, mention one more thing before we begin. If it cannot be proven that Jean Grey Earl is a witch, as claimed by the defense, the court will irrevocably consider Maya Fey to be the witch responsible for both crimes. Is that understood?
This would not be a good time for a certain boobited dead lawyer to show up. You have no choice, Sir Blue Knight. If you don't want the trial to end right now, ready your sword and face the challenge that awaits. But the opponent is a real witch. It's a gamble that puts Maya's life at stake.
Nick?
She don't seem to care. Maya?
No witch is gonna outwit you in court. You're an ace attorney after all. So, let's do it.
At least she's all smiles. Good. The defense accepts the conditions. Let's proceed with the trial.
Inquisitor Bottom, you may begin. We shall start with a brief summary of the incident. About 30 months ago, in the dead of night, Sir Belduke, the alchemist, was murdered. The crime took place in his study, just as with this incident. The room had been locked from the inside. The victim was found still seated in his chair at his desk, so we can assume that he was attacked while working.
Choked to death.
There were very clear strangulation marks visible on his neck. Whoa! There's something trickling down from his mouth. Is that blood? Yes, most likely. The victim probably bit his tongue as he was struggling with his assailant.
And you said earlier that some white powder was spilled all over the floor, correct? At least the blood wasn't coming out of his nose.
Yes, hence we expected to find the killer's footprints. However, there were none. The killer must have somehow approached the victim without stepping on the floor. After murdering Sir Belduke, the killer left the room without opening the door. Undoubtedly, the crime must have been committed with the use of witchcraft.
If only we could possibly, like... I don't know. Is there any other kind of footprint analysis? Can you manage to figure out what places were screwed with dust-wise? I feel like you could potentially, jump on top of the table. Maybe they could figure something out with that.
The body was discovered the following morning by the butler, Miss Greyer.
The body was found by Greyer, huh? Convenient.
Thank you, Inquisitor Bottom. The court illustrator sketchbook will be added to the evidence. Now, witness, begin your testimony. Tell us about the events spanning the night of the crime, from the evening beforehand until you discovered the body.
I am so freaking happy I went and just restarted this.
At around 1 o'clock at night, I excused myself and left Master Belduke in his study. When I called him for breakfast in the morning, he did not respond. The door to his study was locked. A neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together. All the potions and other concoctions from the study had been confiscated. I wonder if they're being properly stored.
Potions and concoctions were confiscated?
The victim was an alchemist after all. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darklaw.
It has caused me great difficulty, as I have not been able to put Master's research materials in order as a result. I cannot index them by alphabetical order. A, B, C, D. E's entirely missing.
The confiscated items shall be returned as soon as Sir Belduke's murder is resolved.
I shall be looking forward to that.
Defense, you may begin the interrogation.
I love how they cut right to the point. Like, no fancy words. This ain't a cross-examination. It's just straight up interrogating the ever-loving hell out of this, poor lass. Alright. So, at around 1 o'clock at night, I excused myself and let Master aside.
Hold it!
Okay. So you last saw him alive at 1 o'clock a.m., is that correct?
Yes. Master had a habit of conducting his experiments at night, so it was the usual time for me to finish my work.
Weren't you helping him with those experiments?
He would sometimes have some errands for me, but alchemists generally keep their experiments a secret. That's why I would always excuse myself at that time, unless Master had some other tasks for me.
And that night, there was no more work for you?
That's correct. I wished Master a good night as I shut the door behind me and then heard him lock the key. There was nothing unusual about him, at least nothing I noticed. When I called him for breakfast in the morning, he did not respond. The door to his study was locked.
Hold it!
And what time was that?
Master would always take his breakfast at 9 a.m., so it was around that time?
So you didn't have the key to Sir Belduke's study, is that correct?
Yes. There's only one key to that room, and Master always kept it with him. Master's research was a very delicate matter, you see. We had to take strict measures to prevent outsiders from entering that room. Occasionally, delinquents would try to make off with one or other of Master's medicaments.
Thieves stealing from an alchemist? I can't tell if that's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably the latter.
That's why the door to that room is made from thick oak wood. I wouldn't have been able to force that door open on my own.
She couldn't have entered the room before that, then.
A neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together.
Hold it!
Wait, you mean you broke the door?
The only key to that room was in Sir Belduke's pocket. The only way to enter the study was to break the door open.
And you managed that with the help of a neighbor who came to visit?
Yes. It wasn't a social visit, mind. He came as a patient.
Woo! Can you tell me who? A patient? Can you tell me more about him?
Objection!
Or is there patient confidentiality in this time?
The victim's neighbor is irrelevant. He has nothing to do with this case.
But it might be good info. It might be juicy gossip. I think you're pushing it this time. A witness is hardly irrelevant. What's got him so shaken? He looks as if he's just had a rush of blood to the head.
Master Belduke had been making very potent medicines, among other things. We would get people coming from the town at all hours of the day or night asking for them. And yet, in return for all the help Master offered, people would gossip about him.
Dabbling in witchcraft, not dabbing in witchcraft. Although that would be freaking hilarious. So you broke the door together with a neighbor.
Yes, when I explained the situation to him, he brought over an axe. Then he proceeded to attack the door with great force, smashing it into splinters.
I see. By the way, about that neighbor. Who was there? You asshole!
Did you miss me, guys?
Nope. No, I didn't. And how did you get an axe?
Order! Order! Could it be that it was you who...
Yep, he's here now.
Looky, old man, I'm right.
I will find out very soon why he is your favorite character, Benji. Oh boy.
Look at old man right here.
I'm the alchemist's neighbor and a witness in that case too.
What the hell? Passion for justice seething within. Emir is always at the crime scene.
Objection!
It's you again. You're the guy from earlier, right?
Yup, that's me. Amir's the name. How you been, Bluey?
Are you really the alchemist's neighbor? Seriously?
I know, right? Freaky coincidence, eh? Yeah. His house is next to mine.
Frickin' great. Ridiculed earlier, Amir returns, drinking like a king. He never ever learns. By the way, where did you come in? I didn't see where he came in. All right.
That's why I tried to stop you from asking about the neighbor. Oh, why so cold, Inquisitor Bottom?
Unable to hold his steady. Why are you here, cold gaze? Amir drinks fast, as if in a daze. Ooh. Hello, mate. Hello, Spicy, or are you... Did you change your name? I think you might have. And the musician standing next to you.
Oh, yeah, that's my private bard, Birdley. Alright, musical genius.
Hold on! Oh, dearie me!
I'm George, yes. Okay. Oh, dearie me. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is Kangaroo Court.
Well, no use shutting the stable door after the horse had bolted. Let's move on. Witness, since you're already here, you may as well add your testimony. Testify about what you witnessed on the morning after the crime.
For a second, I thought maybe I would get a regular old witness testimony set, but okay.
You can count on me. It dawned on me then, the witch cast Familia just like in this case.
Hold it!
Can you tell me what caused that sudden realization?
Sure thing, when the Inquisitor came round, I went to have a little peek at the crime scene. That's when I heard him talking about it. I was surprised because they must have been, come to the same conclusion as me. Crikey, they could do their job, them Inquisitors, I thought. It had to be Familia.
So he was eavesdropping.
If I happen to see that Familia use, I'll arrest him myself.
Gulpity, gulpity, gulpity. For your sake, I hope you have plenty of money for the booze. Witness, you are testifying in court. Can you not restrain yourself a bit?
What's that? Don't you see you gotta have this to keep my spirits up? It's the most potent medicine.
'Tis a drink of mere, lives to savor, with an intoxicating scent and flavor. Anyway, this is a waste of time. I should be looking for decisive contradictions.
Witness, continue your testimony.
All right, what now? Okay, all the potions and other concoctions from the study have been confiscated. I wonder if they're being properly stored. I feel like I should probably save at this stage, since there's so many ridiculous things have happened as of late. There we go. Again, just to be safe.
Hold it!
Those items were confiscated 3 months ago. You still haven't got them back?
No, not a single thing. Even though many of those were personal items with no relevance to the crime.
Now that I think about it, that room did look pretty empty. Wait, you thought she had short hair? No, apparently it's long hair. It's just she happened to hide a bun somewhere.
As I said, the victim was an alchemist, and among his possessions were some very dangerous concoctions.
Actually, now that I think about it, if she's a witch, maybe she has very good methods of being able to hide a bun.
But he did produce medicines to aid sick townsfolk as well, townspeople, to give him his due.
Indeed, alchemy is highly beneficial to the townspeople, even if they fail to notice it.
It may be beneficial, but it also inspires fear. People fear what they do not understand.
Oh, don't we all know it?
At any rate, I cannot return the items to you until Sir de Balduc's case is solved. That is what High Inquisitor Darklaw has decided.
And the confiscated goods are being kept in a secret vault by the Knights of the Inquisition?
Even the Inquisitors cannot freely enter that vault. It is strictly supervised.
And that's the end of that. But it looks like I'm going to have to check some more of these things, because now there's multiple people on the roster. That's all they have to say, huh? I really didn't expect him to appear, but maybe I should be used to it by now.
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
Oh, that's okay. What is it?
I'm wondering if it's just me, but I've been thinking about Mr. Amir's testimony. I think what he said is a little strange, isn't it?
Yeah. How can I put it? It's pretty obviously contradictory.
He was so keen to testify, maybe we should give him some attention and point those contradictions out. What a good idea, Luke!
Interested. So, okay, we have our target. Unless, of course, we want to try and do testimony on anything else. Dawned on me then, the witch cast Familia, just like in the case. Familia. Remind me again... My brain is applesauce. Give me a second. Demir, Goldor, Familia. Summons forth a magical familiar from the shadows, although it possesses a physical form. It is completely weightless. A shadow familiar. Well, there's nothing in here that specifies exactly how the heck the familiar or the person ended up getting in that room in the first place. That might have something to do with it. I'm not entirely sure, though. I think just... Here. Just to test things out, I would like to press all these things again, except, like, skip through them real quick. Just to see if we get anybody's, like, ears perking up. Okay, nothing about that one. What about the second one?
Hold it!
Thieves? No. It would be hilarious if a bunch of teenagers managed to get their hands on a whole bunch of this stuff.
Hold it!
Yay, we have become the witches of the town! Oh, hey, wait, this is brand new, isn't it? Can I go back? No, I can't.
Yeah, kinda in a manner of speaking. Can't believe I'm still alive, to be honest with you. I'm always drowsy, always hungry. And to top it off, nasty murders keep on occurring wherever I go.
I'm sick and tired of listening to your babbling, so cut it right there.
If I may express my personal opinion, I believe Mr. Amir has a truly remarkable ability to come up with different illnesses every day.
Amir comes often for his medication, be it inflammation, irritation, or radiation. It is certainly not a fabrication.
That day I thought I could use some delicious potions, so I went to see the alchemist.
Delicious potion.
When I got there, I saw the butler was in a bit of a pickle. The study was locked, you see.
Then you went to get an axe and broke the door?
That's right. I always wanted to smash something with an axe. I get them kind of urges to destroy stuff, you see.
Now that sounds like something you should get treatment for. Yeah, but they don't have any shrinks in this time period. Alright, it dawned on me then. The witch cast familiar, just like in this case. What could I present? Well, alright. Familiar would make sense within this case, considering the fact... Alright, wait, so... I forget. What did you say in reference to this? What caused the realization? Inquisitors came around, I went to have a little peek at the crime scene. I was surprised because they must have come to the same conclusion as me. Crikey, they could do their job, as I thought. It had to be Familia. If I happen to see that Familia user, I'll arrest him myself. Okay, so literally his thoughts about that have absolutely no connections at all. Gotta keep your spirits up. Oh, trust me, there's plenty of spirits in that cup. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this has okay. It hints that I'm supposed to be doing this. But how would the witch have cast it? Ah, yeah, good point, good point. So, magic scepter necessary for casting spells. The Familia magic... Oh, wait a fuck nugget. So, the Talia Magica inside this thing is clearly a fake, so... Do we have any kind of proof? Actually, come to think of it, was that... No, this couldn't have been the staff that was pointed as being... This is definitely one big ol' ass contradiction. Cause, yeah, the Familia gem is fake.
Objection!
Yes! Okay. Thank you, Benji. There's something you don't seem to understand here, Mr. Amir. The Familia gem in the Witch's Scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. Just like this buffoon's testimony. Wait, is this drinking in a kid's game? Oh, no, he's totally drinking grape juice. Yeah, he just really loves grape juice, and it makes him very sleepy. Therefore, your testimony doesn't hold water. Just like anything else, he says.
What?
Ignored and scorned, without credibility, will majestic Amir now show humility? Unlikely.
What? A fake!
You should have listened to the trial more carefully. Nope, he just has to jump up and start pointing fingers.
Now that has been dealt with, Inquisitor Barnum, this witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Belduke was murdered. Is that correct?
Indeed. We deduce that Familia must have been used. However... But that Familia magic gem was a fake. That much has been demonstrated today. What's more, as we've learned from Cracker, the parrot's testimony, reputable parrot, the witch used the spell Godor. The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that. Collaborate.
That wall may not have been painted green 3 months ago.
And besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small.
To be honest, I've started wondering were Sir Layton and Sir Belduke's murders actually committed by the same witch?
I don't even know anymore. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that was the Inquisition's claim. I got nothing on me. He's right, though. It's gotta be the same culprit in both cases. And, at the very least, it's possible that the witch used the spell Godor to commit Sir Belduke's murder. What? Also, question. Does the wall have to be the same color on both sides? That's the other thing I'm kind of wondering about.
In that case, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke?
Letter from Belduke to the storyteller contains only blank sheets of parchment. 3 sketches of the crime scene. Let me check this real quick. Well, the painting is clearly sitting there at the time of the crime. Also, I noticed in this picture, you see that envelope sitting in the back at the top, sort of at the top right there. Look familiar to anybody? You know. Well, do I have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke? Perhaps something in the Grand Grimoire. Yes! Indeed. Let's see. Godor creates a portal on 2 sides of green-colored walls. The portal will disappear at front. There's nothing specifying anything in here that says that both sides of the wall have to be green. But, I mean... I have not saved, have I? Screw it. Nope. Shit.
This evidence is meaningless. Just like the very existence, you could say.
Huh? You're all talk. Your assertion is worthless.
Just like my very existence, you could say.
What? Here's proof, said Sir Knight in Blue. But his argument's been proven untrue.
Being publicly ridiculed and treated like dirt. Now you know how it feels too, eh?
Good. The culprit conjured up a small magic portal in that room and made use of it to carry out the crime. I'm sure it was possible, and there's evidence that makes it blatantly obvious. Mr. Wright, let's think again about the circumstances at the crime scene, and then give it another go. I'd like to save, goddammit. Alright, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke? Alright. So, I have a suspicion it has nothing to do with the Grand Grimoire. Alright. The proof that he could have... I mean, alright. You know... The wall behind the painting at the crime scene had been painted... You know, alright. It's not just the painting. And it's also not just the green color. There's one other thing I'm kind of thinking. If this was a killing by strangulation, you wouldn't really need to climb all the way through the hole in order to kill him in that case. In fact, this makes a heck of a lot of sense. If you only open the portal up behind the painting and just reached your arms through, you could choke someone out. So perhaps, maybe it's the crime scene sketches.
Take that!
I think we got it. I'd like you to take a look at these.
Aren't those the court Illustrator Sketches?
As you can see from this sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim?
A small landscape painting.
Thank you, Inquisitor. But there's one more point of note. Look closely at the painting. Do you notice anything behind it?
Oh, I see it. The wall behind it has already been painted green. Which means the witch could have used the portal spell there 3 months ago.
Objection!
One moment, my lord. Consider how small that portal would have been. Could a witch have passed through it? I think not.
Objection!
Like I said, don't have to. Of course the witch would not be able to go right through it. However, if you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice that the victim, Sir Belduke, was sitting just at arm's length from where the portal would have been. The witch did not have to enter the room at all. All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Belduke, who was sitting right under the painting. Gotcha.
Order! Inquisitor Barnum, what say you to that?
A fascinating theory, Sir Blue Knight.
But there is a notable contradiction within it.
What is it about the painting being there? Where would that be?
Tell me, why do you think we concluded that Familia had to have been used?
We had a certain reason for it, of course.
And what was that reason exactly?
The crime scene had been tampered with.
How so?
Imagine the circumstances of Sir Belduke's death, and it should become obvious, even to you. The victim was choked to death. And yet, there were no signs of a struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think?
What are you getting at?
Think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly, there should be evidence of a struggle.
That music. Yeah, it's very haunting.
And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene.
What about the shit on the floor?
Indeed, that would be the logical conclusion.
No, surely, it would be impossible to do any such thing had the witch only reached inside through a portal. In order to cover up the evidence she left behind, the witch had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point in using the spell Godor.
Objection!
Miss Grey Earl could have done it. She might have been able to tamper with the crime scene.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? The morning of the crime. From the time Miss Grey Earl and that guy entered the study, until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had the opportunity to do so. We need to look into what happened in that window. Ooh, okay.
It seems we may be in need of another testimony.
Oh, God. And we have to lean on the words of a mirror. Shit.
Witnesses testify about what happened in the time between the body being found and the Knights of the Inquisition arriving. Sure thing. Ask me anything. I'll tell you all you need to know.
Oh, glorious Amir, tell us more. Maybe you won't be laughed at as before. Only 2 people accused accessed the crime scene in that time. Grey Earl and Amir. Believe it or not, Amir is the key witness in this case. Shit. It's a good thing he doesn't keep his mouth glued and trapped shut. So,
I broke down the door and saw the alchemist stumped in his chair, gave me a jolt. The butler hurried to call the Knights of the Inquisition. He never entered the study. Well, then, I was asked to keep an eye on things, so I went and have a bit of a look at everything. All it made me pretty drowsy, so I went and took a little nap on the couch.
Wait, what? Mr. Amir, you said the butler didn't enter the crime scene?
Yup, he never set foot in there. The moment I saw Belduke, he told me to stand guard till the Knights of the Inquisition arrived. And then off he went. What a resourceful apprentice that alchemist has, I thought to myself.
I almost feel sorry for you, Silver Knight. After all, your suspect couldn't have tampered with the crime scene. I beg to fricking differ. If this guy was asleep, but fine. That can't be true.
Defense, please proceed with the interrogation.
Yes, Your Honor. Again, I'm gonna call ball on that. Let's just go ahead and put down another safety net. Oopsies. Get out of here. Broke down the door and saw the alchemist stumped in his chair.
Hold it!
Before you smashed the door, did you check that it was really locked?
Of course I did. We tried to get it open without resorting to brute force, but it wouldn't budge. So I went to fetch me lovely little axe.
This guy with an axe is terrifying to me. His wooden enemy stood tall and still, yet Amir sprang forth. It was overkill!
Did you think I lied about the door being locked?
No, of course not. Boy, she's so sharp she might cut herself. Or maybe most likely me.
So then I went and saw it. The alchemist was slumped in his chair.
While we're at it, allow me to confirm something. When you entered the room, did the victim look the way he does in this sketch?
Yep, that's it. Spot on. Nicely drawn, too. You know, at first I didn't know if he was really dead. He looked like he just passed out or something, tired from his research. My princess is real good. To be able to tell at a single glance that the alchemist was done for.
Oh, God.
Butler hurried to call the Knights of the Inquisition and never entered the study.
Hold it!
How did he know he was I don't know. I guess he could have seen it from the door. Are you sure the butler didn't enter the crime scene?
Yeah, like I said, he didn't set foot in that room. I went in, sorta didn't know what to do, but the butler sussed out the situation in the blink of an eye. He told me to stand guard, and then he ran out.
She went to call the Knights of the Inquisition, is that correct?
That's correct. I went to the nearby garrison.
We have the records of when the crime was reported. They match the witness's testimony.
I returned to Master Belduke's house with the two knights. They began an investigation immediately, taking away Master's research materials and concoctions. In the end, I wasn't able to enter that room that day.
There can be no doubt about it. As she is the alchemist's apprentice, she was under close observation following the incident.
I wasn't aware of that.
So in the end, she didn't have access to the crime scene at all on that day, huh? By the way, what were you doing at the time?
Well, me,
Again, I sleep on the freaking job.
what'll I do then? Oh, yeah, I was asked to keep an eye on things, so I went and have a bit of a look at everything.
Hold it!
What were you having a look at?
Oh, well, I was asked to take care of the crime scene, wasn't I? So I had to, like, make sure everything was in order. I mean, you know, it's not like I went wild with excitement after being left in a real alchemist room full of mystery stuff.
You're a fanboy and you know it. I'm sure you didn't, Mr. Sticky Fingers.
And besides,
Besides,
she asked me to look for something, so I was doing that.
hello? What was you looking for? Miss Grey Earl, You look lost in thought.
Were you talking to me?
Even she can be caught off guard. If I chose the right moment. If you choose the right moment. You have been listening to Mr. Amir's testimony, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
He was asked to look for something? It was you who asked him, I assume. What did you tell him to look for?
I think you're mistaken. I don't remember making any requests of that sort.
What do you think, Amir?
Oi, Bluey! Were you even listening to what I said? It was a lady that asked me. The butler's a guy, you numbskull.
Dude? Dumbass.
Scandalous. No, wait. Hey, what's up? Why's everyone looking at me like that?
Quite a while ago, we learned that the butler, Jean Grey Earl, is actually female.
What?
That's why when you said a lady asked you to search for something, we assumed it was Miss Grey Earl.
What?
Daydreaming, listening, but not hearing. That look of shock is almost endearing. Facepalm.
Whoa, what the? Why didn't anyone tell me before?
Do you require a personal notification? You should have been listening to the trial.
Knights of the court, squabbling with a witness is most unseemly. What I would like to know now is this. Who was the lady that made the request of Amir?
Well, she has very pretty green hair, so if you can't identify that...
Oh yeah, that was actually Miss...
Hello?
He's absolutely certainly talking about me.
Crap.
Oh, and you are?
Oh, I'm Letty. Hang on a minute. I'll get down there post-haste.
Post-haste! Ha! See? It's a joke! Alright, now we got a full rung of people, jeez.
Who are you precisely?
Me? Who am I? I'm Letty Mailer. I'm the courier.
The courier?
A courier is a person who collects and delivers letters or packages.
I know. Thanks anyway, Espel. I wish you'd stop misreading my mind.
Hold on, Miss Mailer. Do you mean it was you who irresponsibly made such a request to that troublemaker?
Me? Maybe? Yes, yes, I guess so. I asked him to help me find something.
It's outrageous! Why was I not informed of this?
I guess no one told you. Maybe because you didn't ask.
That lady jumps off... that lady jumped off of great heights. Yeah, I don't know how people are getting down from the balcony that quickly.
It seems we will need to ask you to testify, Miss Mailer. Explain to us how you were involved in this case.
Frankly, I wouldn't say I was involved in anything. Now I'm in a tight spot. I bet it's because that guy said something weird about me.
Ease up on me, lady. Like the saying goes. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Beats being a pickle on your own, eh?
Gulpity gulp, gulp, gulp. I feel like his blood is about like 90% wine.
Now then, Miss Letty Mailer, testify about that day.
That voice could make windows shatter. Ears dead.
Sir Belduke said he'd have a letter to send, so I came by to pick it up.
Hold it!
You mean you came to pick up a letter from Sir Belduke?
Yes, I was told by Sir Belduke that it'd be really ready in the morning. What's more, he said it was extremely important. I felt a sense of duty surging within me.
Hang on!
Hello? Miss Grayler, I have a question.
Yes, what is it?
Did anything catch your attention during Miss Mailer's statement? Oh, really?
Nothing in particular. At any rate, to begin with. I was not aware of the fact that the courier visited us that day. Ah, that's right. You weren't there when I arrived. And once I found the letter, I left immediately.
Did you know about this letter, witness?
I would never pry into Master's personal matters, such as his correspondence.
Meekenson's great grandma. Maybe.
Well, that should conclude the testimony.
So now we know there was a third witness.
But Miss Mailer only came to pick up a letter. That doesn't help us much, does it? Well, perhaps there's more to it than meets the eye.
A letter, huh? Belduke was about to send a letter to someone before he was killed. It may not be relevant to this case, but something about that is bothering me. Maybe it's worth asking Letty about it. Oh, I think I know what's happening here.
Broke down the door. What'll do it? Late little nap.
So Belduke said he'd have a letter, so okay, I came by to pick it up. Just in case this turns out to be wrong, I'm pretty confident, but, you know, pays to be careful. I mean, it's very, very easily telegraphed here. I conveniently have a letter sitting in here.
Objection!
And it's blank. The letter you found that morning, was it by any chance this one? Here?
Yeah, that's the one! But wait, how did you get it?
You're a piece of work, all right.
Objection!
Hold it! Sir Blue Knight! How did you come by that letter?
It just sort of fell into my lap, so to speak. It was the professor who found it, but he doesn't need to know that.
Defender, just what in the world are the contents of that letter?
Absolutely nothing, which is confusing. Maybe it's one of those letters that you have to, like, soak in water and, like, this, you know, the ink will show up or something. Well, the letter's blank.
What?
All this fuss over a blank letter?
As you can see, there are some sheets of parchment inside the envelope.
Indeed. And there's not a trace of ink on them? What's the meaning of this?
Don't forget that Sir Belduke was an alchemist. He may have used some kind of invisible ink to write that letter.
Indeed. That would make sense.
Oh dear. Are you an expert in invisible ink?
About that, it doesn't make sense to me.
What? Miss Mailer?
The thing is, when I saw that letter, all the pages were full of writing, so, you know...
Objection!
Hold it, witness. You saw the contents of Sir Belduke's letter?
Oh dear. Please tell me we don't have to go off of this person's memory.
I didn't read it. It's just that, you see...
Witness, this is an important matter. You will need to testify about it. Tell us what you know about this letter.
What do you know about this letter? How do you know? Did you break the seal?
That night, probably about 1 a.m., I made a delivery to Sir Belduke. He was writing a letter at the time. It'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow morning. That's what he said. I left his study and wished the butler a good night, then I went home. I went there again the next morning, as promised. Sir Belduke was... Well, anyway, I looked for the letter. And then that guy went out like a light on the couch. I got a little scared, so I left as soon as I found the letter.
This is getting confusing because how the heck did you manage to get the envelope if it was sitting at that particular spot?
I see. So, you witnessed the victim write the letter?
I wouldn't say I witnessed that. That sounds so legal. The sheets of parchment were on his desk, though. I saw that. And they were covered in writing. Margin to margin.
But you don't know what the letter was about? Jeez.
Telling you would be a breach of our privacy policy. I can't reveal its contents or who it was addressed to.
Well, of course, I understand.
Frankly, I didn't get close enough to Sir Belduke's desk. So I couldn't make out what he was writing.
In any case, what did you find, where did you find the letter that morning after the victim was found dead?
On a shelf next to his desk in a small letterbox. Oh, yeah, right there, next to his head. I was a teeny bit scared, though, coming so close to a dead man.
So that's where she took the letter from. It was right next to the corpse, huh?
Now that the circumstances are clear, we shall proceed with the cross-examination.
I think I have a good idea of what's going on here. First... Save right there. Anywho, made a delivery, eh?
Hold it!
What was the delivery? That's pretty late to be making a delivery.
Look, he's an alchemist. He gets loads of strange packages. That's why. He'd often order various implements from the glass craftsman or have someone gather wild herbs for him. He usually carried out his experiments at night, so yeah, he often needed items delivered in the middle of the night.
Did Sir Belduke seem all that different than normal when you saw him that night?
Different. Let me think. Actually, yes. I think it was about 3 days before Sir Belduke's death. I mean, that lightning strike.
Oh, hello, the lightning strike.
Hang on!
Right, let's bring that that little skeleton in the closet out. Excuse me, Miss Grey Earl.
Don't. What is it?
Did anything in Miss Mailer's statement catch your attention?
Well, just the lightning strike. Master Belduke did certainly change following that event. I wonder why it affected him so much.
An alchemist and the sudden appearance of an old bell tower. Couldn't there be some sort of a connection between them? Yeah. Anyway, it looks like Grey Earl is as much in the dark about this as I am.
By the way, that strange lightning strike was not the result of witchcraft. I see. Well then, let's carry on.
How do we know that? Is there a way we can test lightning?
It was written a letter at the time. It'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow morning. That's what he said.
Hold it!
You saw the letter he was writing?
I told you before, there was sheets of parchment with writing on them on his desk. I had a very quick look. There were so many...
I was about to say tweets. No. We live in the 18th century.
The letter must be very long.
Actually, more like 17th.
Then how can you explain the letter being blank now?
That's just it. That's what I'd like to know as well.
I wish I had some earplugs.
Sir Belduke, he was holding a pen when I arrived with the delivery, so he was in the middle of writing. And also, he told me to pick up the letter next morning.
And then you left his study?
I left to study and wished the butler a good night, then I went home.
Oopsies. Sorry, wrong button.
Hold it!
Wait a minute. When you say the butler, you mean...
Miss Grey Earl, of course. She was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Again, do you have something to say about that? And how late ago was that? Miss Grey Earl, I'd like to ask you something.
Oh, certainly. What is it?
You stated previously that you excused yourself and left Sir Belduke's study shortly after 1 a.m.
Yes, that is correct.
However, according to Miss Mailer's testimony, the two of you came across each other while you were waiting outside that room. Why didn't you mention that until now?
That's because... I apologize. I'm afraid I completely forgot to mention it.
Nice rebound, jeez. You forgot?
Miss Mailer very often comes with deliveries during the night. I did see her that night as well, but I didn't think much of it, as it's nothing unusual. I had no reason to hide that from you. Please, forgive me for the confusion.
Well, that kind of thing can happen. Human memory is in no way perfect. I don't imagine there's a problem here, is there?
On the contrary, Your Honor. There's one more thing Miss Grey Earl forgot to mention. Uh-oh. What'd you forget to mention?
What is it?
I'd like you to recall what Miss Mailer said about having met Miss Grey Earl that night.
Miss Grey Earl, of course. She was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Well, Miss Grey Earl, apparently you were carrying a tray at the time. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that? I'm still kind of confused as to why.
Jean Grey Earl, I believe you should add that to your testimony.
As you wish, my lord.
It's unlikely she really forgot about it. The fact she tried to hide it must mean something. What would she have been carrying at the time?
Miss Mela just left just as I was bringing Master his usual drink.
Hold it!
What does he drink? What do you mean by usual drink? Again, it's got to be like Earl Grey tea. That'd be amazing.
When Master's experiments continued late into the hour, he would always have some juice to
What of? What kind of juice?
the kind that shouldn't be in a tea for teen game.
No, tomato juice.
He'd have one bottle every night. It was my daily routine to bring it to him before withdrawing to my room for the night.
So you brought him tomato juice that night, too?
Yes, I did. Master Belduke thanked me as always, and then I left him.
Objection!
Miss Grey Earl, I have to ask you again. Why have you kept this information from the court until now? Why are you hiding this tomato juice? Scandalous!
Please accept my sincerest apologies. It was such an obvious part of my daily routine that it didn't even occur to me to mention it.
You want us to believe that you simply forgot to tell us? Unfortunately, yep.
That would match the evidence found at the crime scene. I do remember seeing an uncorked bottle of tomato juice there.
Mr. Wright, please take a look at this. It's here in the court illustrator sketch too.
So it is. That court illustrator certainly does pay attention to the details.
Then that would mean the red liquid trickling down from the victim's mouth is not in fact blood. It is tomato juice.
I think we can safely make that assumption. Ah, yes, so we can scratch off that part about... Actually, wait, was there blood in any of the other cases for this game?
Poor Master.
So, what's weird about this whole thing? I don't know. Went there again the next morning as promised. Sir Belduke was... Okay, anyway, I looked for the letter.
Hold it!
You took the letter from the crime scene?
That's right, I took it from the crime scene.
Objection!
Do you not realize that pinching evidence from a crime scene, is in itself a crime worthy of severe punishment?
Apparently not.
Well, it might be a crime, sure, but just look at the witch's defender. He's got to defend a witch using any dirty tricks at his disposal.
Dirty tricks? What dirty tricks?
It's the same for you, you know. I'm a courier, so come rain or shine, I've got to deliver. Where there's mail, there's mailer.
I was so inspired by the young lady's spirit, I kinda just had to help.
Although inspired by her dedication, he betrayed a lack of concentration.
It is entirely my fault that it came to that. Had I only been at the residence then.
Blarg.
Grey Earl was out notifying the knights at the time. Yes? Then that guy went out like a light on the couch, got a little scared, left as soon as found the letter.
Hold it!
He went out like a light.
It was helping me look for the letter, and then it happened. Out of the blue, he just passed out. The rascal. He collapsed, and his eyes rolled back.
He wouldn't move. That doesn't... Oh god, that does not sound like he took a nap. It almost sounds like he died.
No such luck,
Unfortunately. What? Why luck?
That horrible sound. He was grating his teeth. I thought my ears would explode.
Funny coming up from you.
Yep, not sure what came over me. Never happened to me before, sleeping like that. You know, I didn't just fall asleep, more like I sort of blacked out, I guess. No idea why. Oh, you guys, what do you think? Any ideas? I think it bears no relevance. And there you have my honest answer.
and I think it's good I wasn't there.
But the question is, why did he black out like that? Let me think about that. Why would he black out? Okay, is there anything that he would have potentially been drinking? Or would he have been there for any particular reason? I feel like he would have... Being left to check out the crime scene, I feel like he probably snatched something and drank it. Is there anything in the Grand Grimoire side effect-wise when it comes to sleep? Let me see here. Nothing about a familiar. Don't think the gold would have done anything. Anything to vanish from sleep? No, there isn't anything about sleep in the Grand Grimoire, so... Although there's a chance there could be something about that later. Let me think about... Okay. Crime scene sketch... I can only think that the crime scene sketches might have something to do with it. Perhaps. Oh, hey, you know what? Here's an idea. Maybe he went and he finished off that bottle. And perhaps that bottle has some kind of soporific in it. What you think? Why did he black out like that? You know what? Your Honor, I might have a clue as to why the witness suddenly lost consciousness.
You do? Really? Did you work it out, Bluey? If that's the case, may the defense present some evidence. Which piece of evidence shows why this man fell unconscious?
Well, let's think about the crime scene sketches and the fact that we had somebody that did not resist to a strangling.
Take that!
Oh boy. Well, isn't that it, mister? Oh boy.
Bluey, want a sip of this? It'll wake you up.
I might like some as well. I'm suddenly overcome with sleepiness due to boredom.
It's getting quite late, and I must admit your tiresome mistakes are not helping me stay awake either.
Looks like that wasn't the right evidence.
Mr. Wright! As I thought, we better gather some more information before venturing a guess.
I agree.
And I think that's what the professor is trying to tell us, too.
Oh, you mean the golden statue that's saying nothing? To me, it looks like he's demanding I find the answer right this second. I'll get more info and take another shot at it. Gotta think about this. Crap. Okay, maybe, perhaps I need to, like, investigate something further. The courier sure is committed to his work, or maybe he's just plain crazy.
Mr. Wright, this testimony raises more questions than it answers, doesn't it? Sir Belduke wrote that letter that night before his death, and yet now it's blank.
That's a mystery, all right, but there's something else unusual in what she said.
There is.
The part about that guy going out like a light seems strange to me as well.
That witness said he felt a surge of drowsiness at the time, but still.
Something about that seems kind of odd, even for a guy like him. I have a feeling there's much more to Miss Mailer's testimony than meets the eye. I'll get to the bottom of this, don't worry.
Good luck.
Right, my guess is that I need to somehow figure out. I'll go ahead and save. So, where would we piece things together? I mean, unless there was a piece of evidence that I did not think about. Let me think. Floor plan, crime scene, floor plan drawn by the court. Okay, so let me look at the floor plan real quick. Nothing in here that talks about what was on the shelf. Nothing about the powder on the floor. And absolutely nothing. Okay, so my assumption is that I need to do more of these things.
Hold it!
And try and find some proof of, like, a sleeping pill or something.
It was about 3 days before Sir Belduke's death. I mean,
The lightning strike, and then You are talking about the... Okay, we've already checked about the lightning strike, but let me ask further.
Lightning strike? Ah, yes. The sky was clear, and then there was a sudden flash of lightning out of nowhere. An old bell tower appeared in flames. Ah, yes, that certainly was an unusual event.
They all seem so calm about it. A tower suddenly materializing in the town is more than just an unusual event, right?
I had a delivery for Sir Belduke that evening too. He looked terrified that night, as if he was scared of something.
What could he have been afraid of? Was it because of the lightning strike?
I was wondering about it too, but well, then that incident happened.
I guess he died before she could find out anymore. I suggest we get back to discussing the night of the crime. Okay, what happened then? So nothing about that. Writing a letter at the time, probably nothing about this. My ears are dead. Miss Mailer left just as you were bringing Master as usual. Okay. Is there anything that I could possibly press about this? Oh. You asshole! I knew it. Excuse me, mister. Mister!
I know nothing about it. Nothing at all.
Spill it, just like the tomato juice you spilled down your throat.
Witness, what have you done this time?
Don't give me that scary look and quizzed upon him. It was not only just a little bit. Seriously, hardly anything at all.
What are you talking about?
What do you think I'm talking about? Juice, tomato juice, of course.
The tomato juice? Oh, you didn't... Surely even you wouldn't...
Well, like I told you before, I think I sort of overdid it a bit the previous night. When I woke up, my head was pounding. That's why I went to see the alchemist. But you know what happened? When I was left alone in the alchemist study, I kind of caught my eye. The bottle, I mean.
The tomato juice?
I thought it might make the headache go away, you know?
So you drank it? The juice found at the crime scene?
Well, why shouldn't I? It's a drink, ain't it? What else you do with a drink? You drink it, right?
And can you tell us where that bottle is now?
Come to think of it, I don't remember seeing it at the crime scene.
It has been confiscated.
Confiscated?
As I mentioned previously, the occult crime analysis confiscated all of Master's personal belongings from the crime scene.
Is that so? Well, I believe we should take note of that bottle and add it to the court record.
Ta-da!
Yeah, so there I was, having a bit of a juice when that girl came round.
Right, ow.
To tell you the truth, I don't quite remember what happened after that.
That's when he passed out, huh? We did have to go and look for some more stuff. Okay. Guy went out like a light on the couch, got a little scared, so he left as soon as he found the letter. And I think what I'm supposed to be doing is pressing this. He collapsed. That's strange. Blacked out. Any ideas? Oh, I have an idea. I've got evidence.
You do?
Really?
If that's the case, what piece of evidence?
Take that!
You, sir. I knew the answer, it's just I thought maybe I could do it remotely with the crime scene notes. Mister, I believe the reason you might have lost consciousness at the crime scene is tied to a certain piece of evidence.
But wasn't it just because, you know, I had a bit too much fun the night before?
Mm-mm. No, it was because of this.
The tomato juice.
You passed out right after drinking this juice. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to assume that there's a direct connection between the two.
Tomato juice does not make people fall unconscious, Sir Blue Knight.
Exactly. That's why something must have been added to the contents of that bottle. Something like a soporific.
You mean sleeping medicine?
And if a soporific was mixed in with the tomato juice, that means Sir Belduke would have been unconscious at the time he was assailed.
Oh! This sketch! Have another look! The red liquid trickling down from the victim's mouth is proof that Sir Belduke must have drank the tomato juice. I had failed to consider this.
Inquisitor Barnum, I bet you remember saying this to the court. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly, there should be evidence of a struggle. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. However, if the victim was unconscious when his assailant was strangling him, then the killer could have committed the crime through a small portal, big enough to put their arms through after all.
Objection!
That may be so, but tell me this. How would the culprit have managed to obtain such a strong soporific?
Hello? Where do you think we're talking? Yeah, I think he just realized that. It was very simple, and I think you've realized why.
From the alchemist.
That's right. An alchemist would no doubt have a wide array of various medicaments in their possession. Medicaments. That's a word I don't get to use very often. And an apprentice would have little trouble stealing some of them from their study. Isn't that right, Miss Grey Earl? Looking very guilty there.
How should I respond to that? I'm sorry to disappoint you, may perhaps be the best way to put it.
What do you mean?
Even though that juice bottle has been safely stored for the past 3 months, I'm positive it would be impossible to find any traces of that soporific now.
Well, especially considering we don't live in the days of CSI.
You wicked.
This is unbelievable! Was it really the butler who did it?
But everything she says holds true.
He was pretending to be a boy. That might be suspicious to start with. Is she a witch?
Sir, what? You want to kill everybody in this courtroom with sonic waves?
Oh. Sure.
How are your ears not broken at this stage? I don't know.
Hold on, everyone! The butler couldn't have done that to Sir Belduke. She would never, ever do it.
How do you know?
Please, let us testify one more time. Miss Grey Earl, let's tell them. Let's prove they're wrong. I have no idea how much you've done for Sir Belduke. Miss Mailer.
Very well, I shall grant your request. Testify about the relationship between Miss Grey Earl and Sir Belduke.
I guess we'll just see. I don't know. Everybody just seems guilty at this stage. Everybody.
Master took me in, a complete stranger. I will forever be indebted to him. That's why I could never make an attempt on his life, through magic or otherwise. Sir Belduke was a wonderful man. He's the one who recommended this line of work to me. And he's the one who told me about it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean, I've never what's broken it?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
It's true that Sir Belduke evoked fear due to his being an alchemist. However, he was also a man of admirable character who supported the townsfolk through his research. Why would anyone want to kill such a man? This question keeps haunting me, however much I think about it.
Witches need no reason behind their evil. That is what makes them witches.
Yeah, you evil little lady.
Now the defense may begin its interrogation.
I'm not entirely sure, because there's nobody... I don't think there's anybody else that could have potentially done this, unless somebody managed to slip the soporific into the tomato juice without Grey Earl knowing. And I don't even know who that could possibly be. Master took me in, a complete stranger. I will forever be indebted to him. Okay.
Hold it!
How long has it been since you began serving Sir Belduke?
I suppose it would be 5 years now. Before that, I'd lost everything. I had nothing and nobody left in this world.
You lost everything?
That's when Master Belduke helped me. He kindly took me in and gave me work.
What did she go through before she started working for Belduke?
Later, when I was helping Master with his research, he even taught me how to read and write. I was able to live comfortably for so long, all because of Master.
I don't know much about Grey Earl. But she doesn't seem the type to kill someone she owes so much to. You don't know. Everyone in this town knows how you served Sir Belduke. Now you may continue your testimony.
That's why I can never make an attempt on his life, through magic or otherwise.
Hold it!
You're claiming you had no reason to kill Sir Belduke.
Yes, you can ask whomst you wish. And I'm sure they will say the same.
Whomever, rather.
That is so. It is widely known that Jean Grey Earl was devoted to serving Sir Belduke. It's difficult to imagine that she could brutally murder her respected master. Indeed, I am of the same opinion. I have visited Sir Belduke on several occasions to inquire about this piece of evidence or that, and I must say I felt there was a strong bond and trust between him and Miss Grey Earl. Do you still think you can come up with a motive?
You know, he said it himself at one point that, you can't really question the ethics and logic of witches. So, motive?
Jean Grey Earl's motive for murder?
Grey Earl risked a lot to conjure up a small portal in the wall. And then she killed Belduke. But what motive did she have? Not right now. I can't come up with any reason why Grey Earl would want to kill Belduke. I better wait until I have some more information to go on.
I think we've heard everything the witness had to tell us. We won't get any more out of them.
Espella?
Miss Grey Earl wouldn't kill Sir Belduke.
But he's dead. And when you think about who could have killed him...
Are you alright, Mr. Ryan?
The murder happened. Nothing's gonna change that. But... was murder really the culprit's primary objective?
What are you thinking about, Mr. Wright?
I think I may need to consider some other possibilities after all. Rather than try to get any more information, maybe I'll be better off changing my perspective.
Well, I've been thinking, maybe we've been making the wrong assumptions.
What if Grey Earl's aim wasn't to get Belduke out of the picture? I'm trying to figure that one out. Like, what? What other reason could you possibly have aside from... I can't think of many other reasons to choke a bitch out aside from you want to kill them. All right.
Sir Belduke was a wonderful man. He's the one who recommended this line of work to me.
Hold it!
You mean you became a courier because of Sir Belduke?
That's right. I was also an orphan. I've been stealing bread or apples and such from stalls and shops to survive. I was known far and wide amongst the traders in the shop area. I was famous, or rather, infamous.
Was she stealing from Miss Eclair too?
And one day, Miss Grey Earl took me there. To Sir Belduke's residence, I mean. Sir Belduke helped me out. He helped me to find a suitable job.
And so you became a courier?
Yes. See, I only had one real skill. I'm light-footed. At first, I didn't take it seriously. The job, I mean. I didn't care about work. But then I realized it. That it's not so bad to be useful, to other people. So I owe him a lot, too. You see, Sir Belduke, I mean.
What a heartwarming story.
I think the judge just wiped away a tear with the rim of his hood.
The more you hear about Sir Belduke, the more obvious it will become that no one had any reason to want to kill him.
It sure does seem that way.
And he's the one who told me about it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I've never once broken it.
Hold it!
The confidentiality obligation is a rule held amongst couriers, is that right?
Yes, a courier must not disclose the contents of a letter, nor the names nor addresses of its sender and recipient. But I'll tell you confidentially that, I love gossiping, bad-mouthing people especially. So I wasn't confident I could keep it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I was tempted to talk about this and that.
To think that Belduke trusted her.
But then Sir Belduke spoke to me. He told me, think about how you'd feel in that person's place. And that got me thinking. I really, really like to gossip, but when it comes to being gossiped about, people's messages are their secrets, and secrets must be kept.
Indeed, no one would want their letters to be publicly known.
She's certainly determined when it comes to confidentiality. That's why she doesn't want to disclose the addressee of Belduke's letter. I'm not going to get it out of her.
I promise, Sir Belduke, and I'm going to keep it, no matter what. The promise, I mean. It's something I can pride myself on, right?
Well, good for you. End of the road for testimony.
Everyone knows that Miss Grey Earl respected Sir Belduke. That's why it seemed so inconceivable that she could be the killer. She doesn't have any motive.
But that crime did take place. At this point, what we probably need to do is look at this case from a different angle. Change the perspective, so to speak.
We just need to look at it from another angle.
I wonder. I feel we're getting close to the truth here. Now I just need to follow it through. That's an attorney's duty.
I'm sure he can do it, Mr. Ron.
From another perspective. Again, I can never make an attempt on his life through magic or otherwise. This is the testimony that I need to be focusing on. But the question is,
Hold it!
what am I trying to do? Do you still think you can come up with a motive? Grey Earl risked a lot to conjure up a small portal in the wall. And then she killed Belduke, but what motive did she have? Suggest a motive for murder. Suggest another motive. I understand. The defense will present evidence. Evidence to indicate Jean Grey Earl's motive for murder? No.
Wait, what?
What's this about, Sir Blue Knight? Sir Belduke's life was taken that day. That's a fact. However, was this actually the culprit's true objective?
Objection!
What? This is nonsense! Sir Belduke was murdered! What other possible reason could there be besides someone wanting him dead?
I'm fairly positive this piece of evidence will lead us to the culprit's real motive.
Very well, defense. Present evidence to indicate Jean Grey Earl's motive for committing a crime.
All right. What's the proof? What is the proof? Proof of the pudding. So, all right. Do you think she knew about the tomato juice? No. I'm just trying to think. I wonder, like, is there any possible way that she thought maybe choking him out for it? I feel like no, she probably wouldn't have done that. There's the case outline. The wall behind the painting at the crime scene. The crime scene floor plan. Magic scepter. Golden Layton. Letter from Belduke to the storyteller contains only blank sheets of parchment. Is there... Okay. Maybe there's something to do with the actual scene that will prove it. Well, he's got the paperwork on the desk there that states that it has something to do with the, the summoning circle and whatnot. So I wonder if maybe there's something to do with that. And then there's the powder on the floor. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I don't... Okay, from the little context clues, it doesn't seem like murder was the intended thing happening here. So what if it wasn't murder? What was the actual motive? What did she want to do? To indicate Jean Grey Earl's motive for committing the crime.
Take that!
Okay, it wasn't this shit. That's the evidence. Now tremble in awe at the power of my reasoning. Nope.
Can you repeat that last bit? I'm afraid I misheard.
Even I have never used a catch-penny line like that.
Well, I trembled a little. All those chilling stares are giving me the shivers. Mr. Wright, no matter how cold everyone else might be towards you, I'll always stay on your side.
Oh, that's nice. Presenting that evidence was a big mistake. Trying to show off was an even bigger one.
The one who ought to tremble is you, Sir Blue Knight.
Shit! Well, I guess I better revise my theory. Okay. So, let me try this again. It's got to be one of the pieces of evidence that I currently have sitting in my inventory. Hello, Mario Pokemon. How's it going? This guy is just the British Godot. Maybe? I don't know about that. He's definitely super handsome like Godot. Suggest a motive. Again, if it weren't, if the motive were not murder, what would Grey Earl want to do? You'd compare him to another prosecutor, but I don't know him yet. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Was this actually the culprit's true objective? What would be the true objective? What would Grey Earl want? What does Grey Earl want? Where's Maya and Layton? Well, Layton is a giant gold statue, and Maya is currently hanging above a fire pit. Sorry to say. Yeah, there he is. Jean Grey Earl's motive for committing the murder. Why would she want to kill somebody? All I can think is, like, maybe... Well, okay, murder eventually happened, but maybe she wasn't planning on it being murder. Is Maya thought a witch? Yeah. They think she did this, the golden Layton. Okay, all I can think is maybe the blank letter.
Take that!
Okay, that's right. I don't know why that's right, but we'll see. Miss Grey Earl had no reason for wanting to kill Sir Belduke. However, there was another incident that night, which is related to this case. And I have an idea what it was.
Another incident?
I'm referring to this letter. Sir Belduke wrote a letter shortly before his death, yet all we have here are some blank sheets of parchment.
Fascinating. Are you saying maybe a witch used some kind of ink-removing magic on that letter, Mr. Wright?
Apparently not. No. The spell used by the witch was, of course, Godor. Let's go over the state of the crime scene one more time. As we know from Miss Mailer's testimony, the letter was in a letterbox next to the victim's head.
Yes, it's in the sketch as well. The letterbox is on the far side of the shelf.
The point of note is the location of that letterbox.
Unbelievable.
As Inquisitor Barnum seems to have noticed, the letterbox is within reach of the small portal conjured by the witch, behind the painting on the wall.
Oh, indeed it is.
And as Sir Belduke's butler, you would have known exactly where he keeps his letters.
Indeed, Master Belduke would always keep his letters in that letterbox before posting them.
You mentioned no such thing.
Why does it matter? Miss Grey Earl, you created a portal with Godor, not with the intention of killing Sir Belduke. You were after this letter, weren't you?
That's merely wild conjecture. I didn't even know about that letter at the time.
You didn't? Now that's very strange. When Miss Mailer came by that night, Sir Belduke was busy writing that letter. And that's when you entered, carrying a bottle of tomato juice. There's no way you wouldn't have known that your master was writing a letter to someone. And you could have known even more than that. For instance, perhaps you knew what he was writing about.
That's enough! I served Master Belduke as his butler. I never would have pried into his private affairs. Whatever it was he wrote about in his final letter to the storyteller, it is no concern of mine.
Your Honor,
Yes, defense.
I'd like Miss Grey Earl's last statement to be added to her testimony.
Any objections, Inquisitor Barnum?
No, my lord.
Very well. Witness, include what you just told us into your testimony.
As you wish, my lord. I had no reason to take his life, not steal his letter.
Okay, wait a minute. No reason to take his life nor steal his letter to the storyteller. Okay, gotten pretty far. Let me go ahead and just, lay down a save here. And let's press that.
Hold it!
Let me get this straight. You didn't know anything about the victim's letter.
That's right. I believe I have said as much already.
Then how did you know? How did you know it was addressed to the storyteller?
True. Indeed.
Why don't you answer his question, witness?
It's true this letter is addressed to the storyteller. But when did you find out about it?
I have spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Maryler. Oh! Sir!
I thought I caught her off guard, but it's her screech that's caught me off guard.
Is there perhaps anything you'd like to add to Miss Grey Earl's testimony?
No, not really.
In that case, let me ask you a different question. Did you tell Miss Grey Earl about Sir Belduke's letter?
I don't know.
Do not beat about the bush, witness. Answer the question.
If I may briefly interrupt. I am testifying right now. If you wish to question Miss Mailer, please do so once you have finished
No, not happening. That is not Phoenix's voice. Ooh, what's Phoenix's voice?
She's not gonna let me question Mailer from the looks of it, and if she's so keen to prevent her from answering.
This might just be a critical point in the testimony. I've got to find another way of fishing for that information. I might have, misread and said somebody else's voice in Phoenix's voice. Whoopsies.
Witness, continue testifying.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Hold it!
So let's see if we can get some more information out of this. Spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months. And let's just skip past that.
Everyone has been very kind to me. They have also told me all sorts of things. I must have heard about it from somewhere at some point.
Well, that incident was certainly much talked about. Would you not agree, defense?
Does her testimony hold together? I guess there's a contradiction. There's a huge contradiction in Miss Grey Earl's testimony. You are becoming very predictable, Sir Blue Knight. If there's a contradiction, I hope you have the evidence to... I don't know. Good question. Here's my chance. There's only one way to expose this contradiction. The defense is ready to present evidence.
Very well, the defense shall present evidence of a different nature. What does the defense believe the contradiction in Miss Grey Earl's testimony?
So, how does she know? You know what? I have to say, the crime scene sketches clearly show... Well, no. The crime scene sketches... they show something on a piece of paper? You refuse to acknowledge that as Phoenix's voice actor. Oh, you mean the voice actor for this game? Oh, well. Okay. What does the defense believe to contradict Miss Grey Earl's testimony? Blank letter. Letter from Belduke, the storyteller. Contains only blank sheets of parchment. Crap. I actually really don't know. Thankfully, he doesn't voice him later on. It's okay. The game's voice actors aren't canon to Ace Attorney. Reasonable enough. What contradicts her testimony? I'm trying to think. Maybe the letter? I don't know. That's the evidence. Now, tremble in awe. Nope. I think I might have messed this up. I am losing shields left and right. What's up, Luke?
Contradictions can be exposed without the need for evidence. The professor said something to that effect when their speller was on trial.
Now that I think about it. You poor bastard. The professor did talk about a different kind of weapon that I could use in court. Maybe I should keep that in mind and give it another try. Oopsies.
Continue testifying.
You know what? Let me go into the menu. Is there any way that I can... I'm going to return to the tile screen, and I'm going to load this thing. Why is he here with us? I mean, he's a piece of evidence. He's got to be in court. And he might as well hang out on the defense side. So, why the heck not? If there's a contradiction, I hope you have proof. I don't need proof, apparently. I can't present evidence. The defense has no intention of presenting evidence. What? The proof that there is a contradiction cannot be found in the court record.
What's the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
The professor pointed it out to me in the previous witch trial. Oh, I remember this now. Shit. In this court, an attorney's arsenal isn't limited to the court record. Mario says, by the way, you're not sure if it's in the game, but from Dual Destinies onward, getting a game over just sends me back to the testimony. Really? Oh, that's cool. Oh, and, hello, Spicy. Anyway, Layton's back.
Each of the witnesses in this trial is given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. Should one witness testimony differ from another testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not?
Juxtaposing contradictory testimonies from different witnesses is the key. Miss Grey Earl? There. Your testimony contradicts another one that we've heard in this court today. I know, it's you, George. Okay, which one? Master took me in. Alright, I had no reason to take his life, nor steal his letter to the storyteller. Master took me in, a complete stranger. I will ever be indebted to him. Sir Belduke was a wonderful man. He's the one who recommended this line of work. And he's the one who told me about it, the confidentiality obligation. I've never once broken it. I wonder... That seems very meaty, whatever this is. The confidentiality obligation. Nothing else seems to be interesting about this. This would prove that there's no reason why she would want to do anything. Wonderful man, he's the one who recommended that line of work to him. Who done it? Let me see. I'm gonna go with this one.
Objection!
Luke, what are you doing? It was a single word that gave you away, Miss Grey Earl.
What do you mean by that?
The name of the recipient. There were only a few people who knew the intended recipient of that letter. Oh, shit. 4 people, to be precise.
Only 4 people?
First was Sir Belduke, the author of the letter. Then there was Miss Mailer, who delivered it. And of course, the storyteller, its recipient, as well as one more person. The one who stole the letter using a portal spell and swapped it with the blank sheets of parchment. The witch.
Maybe I did. Maybe I spilled the beans about the letter. I mean, maybe I told the butler.
You did what?
Well, because you see, me and the butler are sort of friends. And it was about our dear Sir Belduke. I feel like I might have told her about it after all.
Maybe. What paper is he holding? Oh, what?
See, if I did, that's how she knew. About the recipient, I mean.
Objection!
I understand that you are friends with Miss Grey Earl and you want to help her out. But I've got a piece of advice, Miss Mailer. You shouldn't lie, even for a friend.
Huh?
Remember your testimony? You told us about the courier's duty to keep the details of letters confidential. And you have also testified that you have never broken that obligation. Remember?
Sir!
It was seen a minute ago. But hold on a minute. As the victim's butler, Jean Grey Earl might have had a chance to catch a glimpse of the envelope.
Objection!
No, she didn't. When Miss Mailer came with the delivery, Sir Belduke was still writing that letter. In fact, he was in the middle of it at that time. The letter had not been addressed yet. And the next morning, when the body was discovered, that letter was already in the letterbox. Keep in mind that Miss Grey Earl would have no opportunity to see it then either.
Is that so? She went to report the crime without even setting foot in the study.
And then Miss Mailer appeared and retrieved the letter. Needless to say, Miss Grey Earl couldn't have learned of the letter's recipient afterwards. Ooh. Or maybe you have a good explanation, Miss Grey Earl. I'd like very much to hear one. Can you please tell the court how you found out the recipient's name?
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
Do you remember what I said when I was called to the witness stand?
Yes.
At the heart of alchemy lies the pursuit of the rules and logic that govern nature. You have demonstrated the power of your own logic.
Miss Grey Earl?
Are you saying...
Yes, I confess. The abhorrent witch who used the spell Godor to swap the contents of that letter, and who took the life of Master Belduke, it was none other than I.
Wow. You're admitting defeat. And that's basically death. You seem totally cool with that. So we got a child murderer? Yeah, I guess. She's a witch, so no rule. The rule states.
I was an only child, born to a poor family. I've been a witch since I was very little. When did I become aware of it? I don't remember. Although I was but a young child, I knew that being a witch was a crime. That's why I hid my witch's scepter and wouldn't use magic at all. My father worked as a bricklayer. He toiled every day, but we could hardly make ends meet. One winter day, we couldn't afford to pay the rent. We were going to lose the house. My mother was in tears, and my father was sitting with his head down, wordless.
I want money for Mummy and Daddy.
Oh, dear.
That day, I suddenly remembered about the witch's scepter that I had hidden.
How do you even get a witch's scepter? But Goldor spell.
I thought I'd try it just once, casting the spell. But at the time, I had no idea what an irreversible mistake that would be.
Oh my god.
Even though no one told me, I knew from the very beginning what magic I was able to use.
Goldor!
What should I turn into gold? I was thinking about it really hard. The little girl I was. Something that wouldn't stand out. That could be taken for a work of art. Then I decided I chose a pretty leaf that had fallen into our garden.
That didn't work out.
But it wasn't the right thing to do after all. I was terribly punished for using magic, even just the once.
Punished? In what way were you punished?
I placed the leaf down in the back garden and cast the spell, but then Margaret suddenly walked in front of me.
Margaret?
My closest childhood friend. Margaret. Right before my eyes, she was turned into gold.
Oh, dear me!
I screamed and cried, but I knew I couldn't ask anyone for help. If anyone had seen it, they would have known it was the work of magic, and I knew Margaret wasn't coming back. That's terrible. Then my mother and father faces flashed before my eyes. We may have been very poor, but we were always happy together. Had I been captured as a witch, I feared my parents probably wouldn't be safe either. That thought tormented me more than anything, and so I made the decision. I decided to end my own life.
Shit.
I threw myself into the river near the town. It was winter and the water was as cold as ice. I couldn't even move. It was painful. My consciousness started drifting away.
He's an angel.
The next thing I knew, I was in Master Belduke's residence. He risked his own life jumping into the freezing river to save me. I burst into tears and told him everything. I didn't want to go back home. I would only end up causing my parents grief. Master Belduke listened to me without interrupting. And then he told me this.
You can stay here, but from now on, you must live as a boy.
Master Belduke met with my parents and explained everything to them. They were very sad, but they agreed it would be best if I didn't return home. Poor Miss Greyerl, that must have been so awful for her. Master bought the house for my parents so they wouldn't have to worry about paying rent anymore. As for Margaret, turned into gold, he brought her to his residence. He knew that if anyone saw her, they would report an incident of witchcraft.
And this Miss Margaret, is she still in that golden state?
Yes, she is.
That's strange. We have received no reports of anyone by the name having gone missing.
Margaret is being kept in the basement under Master's study.
I was wondering about that, goat.
The basement?
What about Margaret's parents? I think I know who this is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Margaret, is she a...
Yes, my dear friend, was a goat that we were keeping at our house.
Goat?
Until then, Master Belduke had mainly been researching medicine, but since the incident with Margaret, he became known as an alchemist.
So that's when he became an alchemist. I was wondering why the goat was the only thing not covered in dust. That basement, dark and dank.
That's how I started a new life as Master Belduke's butler.
Sir Belduke would sometimes work as a physician, cursing the townspeople of their illnesses. Curing, rather. Holy shit!
Cursing them with illnesses, holy shit. No. Hello, Elsie, how's it going?
As his assistant, you have also shown commitment to helping the townspeople through your work.
I forgot about being a witch and was able to live happily at peace with everyone. I thought it could stay like that forever.
I mean, eventually someone would have figured it out. At least the fact that you were not a boy. You have arrived. Yes, Elsie.
But those peaceful days came to an abrupt end. Tell us, what in the world was the cause?
Even I am not quite sure what led to this. However, it all started 3 months ago with that lightning strike.
Right, we're still trying to figure out what the heck happened with this.
Master Belduke and I were on our way back home carrying specimens for experiments. An old bell tower appeared in the flames. Everyone who saw it was stupefied. But the expression on Master Belduke's face was unlike anything I'd seen before.
What do you mean?
His face went pale and twisted in sheer terror. He was shaking violently. It wasn't just astonishment at an unusual phenomenon. It seemed as if he was afraid of something more concrete.
Like a concrete statue? No, wait. Perhaps still, Sir Belduke saw something that others couldn't.
He cancelled his experiments for that night and began writing a letter to someone.
A letter?
I found out about it when I brought him his bottle of tomato juice.
Oh, was the letter about her? I hope not.
He was writing feverishly as if he were possessed. I saw some things. A few words in that letter. Expose everything. Cannot keep this secret any longer. The truth about the witch.
Oh, man.
Master Belduke was going to confess that I was a witch.
So you think you're SOL to begin with? You know, probably.
Everything went black in front of my eyes. I will never forget the feeling that overwhelmed me at that moment.
Is that when you decided to commit the crime?
What I did first was accidentally singe a part of the wall in my room. It was an excuse to repaint that section of the wall green.
Then you also painted the wall behind that painting in Sir Belduke's study.
And when that fateful night came...
Horrible murder.
I used a syringe to inject a soporific through the cork and into the bottle of tomato juice. So many thoughts were rushing through my head as I wished Master a good night. I opened the portal behind him. He was right there in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read that name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seems as if I could hear the doors to all escape routes shutting closed. It was the sound of despair.
I suppose we've seen the power of what happens when you fuck with the storyteller. Gold boy in the corner.
I would like you to believe me that the thought of taking Master Belduke's life never once occurred to me. I only planned to steal that letter and then disappear. But as I looked upon Master sleeping there in front of me, at that moment, I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clutching his neck.
Pretty easy to get bloodthirsty when your life is at stake. How's Layton gonna turn back? Shrug. I don't know.
That's it. That's the truth about what happened 3 months ago.
Well, this is the darkest shit I've heard tonight.
There's just one thing I fail to understand.
Yes?
You said you wanted to run away once you had stolen the letter? Yet, despite that, you continued to live in Sir Belduke's residence. And now, here you stand. Why did you not run away?
My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. I'd learned all about alchemy living at Master's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe that there truly was such a thing. So I stayed in that place hoping to one day see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason.
Magic being overcome by reason. Ah, so he ended up in turn giving her hope that maybe things would be better. Not until we burn the bad witch. Actually, come to think of it, once the bad witch gets burned, didn't they say that all of the witches disappear? Well, your life's short-lived anyway.
That night, I swapped the letter with blank sheets of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed, through reason and logic. Master's death remained a mystery for 3 months, and people started to lose interest. And then you appeared, Mr. Wright.
Sorry.
On the day you visited the residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. Has the time finally come for me? My heart was racing with anticipation. Then, a few minutes after everyone entered that room, an unbelievable incident took place.
That incident.
A witch appeared in Master's study.
What?
I wanted to get a good look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely at that moment...
Goldor! Oh boy. And then you, yes.
The witch used one of the very spells that I can use too. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed through my mind. This was my chance. I could dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew at the time what kind of witch the Inquisition would be looking for. A witch that can use Familia and Goldor. It occurred to me that I only needed to change one of the magic gems. I had previously found out that the Familia gem was purple. I realized that if I swapped the Goldor magic gem for my amethyst...
That's a big-ass amethyst, by the way.
I could pin the blame for my crime on that other witch.
And the amethyst was just, like, hanging around her neck for that long. Holy crap. So you changed one of the gems and threw the witch's scepter into that room, is that correct?
Exactly.
Objection!
Wham! Wait a minute, Jean Greyer. This statement of yours is highly problematic.
How so, Inquisitor Barnum? She's admitted everything!
Yes, you are right.
Can someone explain to me what this is about?
I am a witch indeed, a sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owes her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me.
Oh.
Oh. Wait, what?
Can we prove that Maya didn't do it? We have another witness.
Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
Jean Grayle admits killing Sir Belduke, but not to turn Sir Layton into gold. Not turning, rather. That is the gist of it, my lord.
But lying about it is meaningless.
Lying?
Just being a witch is a crime in itself, and the punishment for that crime is the same, regardless of whether she took one person's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking.
Grey Earl is still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. But if there's no point in lying, does that mean she must be telling us the truth? Yeah, so...
So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor?
If it wasn't her,
then who was it?
again, people better not start pointing fingers at Maya again, because this is going to be stupid.
Mind if I say something?
Sure, go ahead. This is enough of a farce as it is.
Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? Yeah, well, that's kind of why I was staying quiet until now, but I either say it now or never. Don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weight on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say?
Did the drunkie steal all the files or something?
Oi, Bluey!
Yes?
I need to make sure about something. My head's not what it used to be, you know?
Yes?
The alchemist Butler, a lady Butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink.
And that's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it.
And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards.
Yes, Sir Belduke was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist.
And that explains why we found no sign of a struggle at the crime scene.
Yeah, about that. I let it slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? I told you that I had a few sips of that juice.
And the sleep medicine mixed with it made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember.
Oh, where are we going with this? Also, we didn't figure out anything about the powder on the floor. Maybe that's what we're going at.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is just between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened.
It was unopened?
My throat was parched and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I couldn't just let that go to waste. I swiftly pulled out the cork and got to drinking.
What?
So, in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine.
Huh?
What?
Okay. So now who's the killer? Great, right?
Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at a crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents?
Does this look like the face of someone who's careful?
That's what I've been telling you. I was dying of thirst. That doesn't justify what you've done.
Objection!
The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial.
He needs all of the arrest.
He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There's no need to investigate Sir Belduke's death any further.
Indeed, you are right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear, but a person who kills her protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such.
Sorry. Belduke didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, there's one thing here that doesn't add up.
Mr. Wright, I have to say, there's something about this trial that's bothering me.
There's a lot of things that are bothering me.
I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in this man's testimony. You think so, Luke?
Can I really turn a blind eye to that? I don't know, but we've been going on for a while, and I'm going to save. There, I think that's appropriate. Oh, perfect timing. Oh, fine. Let's investigate the contradiction. Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle. But that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence.
What? Defense, I'd like a word with you. I want to go home. I need to go home and I need to read a nice little story, and you are keeping me from it.
Yes, Your Honor.
At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there is a contradiction in that man's testimony or not should no longer be of any of your concern.
Well, what if my client turns out to continue to be guilty? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be thinking that way, but still. That may be so, Your Honor. But even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of any ace attorney, is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Fool. Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain.
I would like to hear about this contradiction, too. The defense shall present evidence. Where is the contradiction in this witness having been the one who opened the tomato juice bottle?
Well, we clearly have a picture of the defense, of the deceased with a little bit of red stuff on his mouth. So what's that? Oh, fuck! The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. Okay, thank God. For a second there, I thought I picked the wrong thing.
In one of the sketches?
Please take a look at Sir Belduke's mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down his mouth.
Yes, well, we have already established that it was the tomato juice. My brain just started working.
Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection!
So is it blood then? That was our first thought.
Which means there's only one other possibility. That red line is, as we thought, first of all, blood. So Belduke must have tried to fight back the assailant and bit his tongue in doing so.
Objection!
Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier.
Earlier?
If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. That's what made you assume the witch must have used Vermalia.
Yes, that is so.
As I explained before, Master Belduke didn't struggle at all at the time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unusual.
The victim didn't drink the soporific, yet didn't struggle.
But what does this mean?
So this person was he already... Yeah, Mario, he's got it right on his. He's already dead. So, oh god. That means I basically outed Grey Earl as a witch for no reason.
Oops! If it's not tomato juice nor blood brought about through a struggle with the murder, then what else could it be?
It's gotta be some kind of poison. Okay, so we don't have a child killer on our hands. Yeah. Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all.
Yeah, right, it's gotta be that.
We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker.
Maybe it's ketchup.
Indeed.
And there's gotta be a different reason for that blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. But what could have caused it? Was he literally eating rocks? What is up with that man's eyes? I don't know. He's a strange man. A very drunk, strange man. Your Honor, if I may ask one question.
A question? To whom?
If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. If I'm choosing anything here, I'm definitely saving. That's why I need to question one person in particular.
Bardem. Grey Earl.
Emir. Well, I mean, I pretty much opened up the floor to anything, considering I just saved, so I'm gonna ask Grey Earl. Well then, I have a question for Miss Grey Earl.
Yes, Mr. Wright.
On the day of the crime, did anything go missing from the crime scene?
Missing, such as the tomato juice that a certain person drank, do you mean?
Yeah, something like that. But was there anything else?
I'm afraid I cannot say. You may remember that I didn't enter Master's study that day, not even once. If I may be so bold as to make a suggestion, perhaps it would be wiser to ask someone who went into Master's study. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
She's right. I'll try again. Let me ask one more question. Sorry.
I hope that this time you will think about what to say before opening your mouth.
Okay, good. They're being nice to me. Let's ask Amir, since he's the only one that was in the room. Mister, can I ask you something?
Yeah, don't give me that scary look, Bluey. I know nothing. Nothing at all. I got nothing to tell.
Sure. Amir's as innocent as a little lamb, but is his confidence more than a sham? Again, why the hell are you here? He'd be better off without the bard. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right?
Don't keep asking me about that over and over again. So what if I did?
Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day?
No, I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Witness, just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught in a mess on making a mess on the carpet. How is Layton going to turn back? I see. I don't know how Layton is going to turn back at this stage. I don't know.
Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know nothing about anything going missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me.
Truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies. Well, others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduke's mouth.
What on earth did that man steal from the crime scene?
A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day. And at this very moment, it's highly likely that item is right in front of our very eyes.
What? It's here?
Isn't that right, mister?
I have no idea. Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene.
Got it.
I've been wondering what the heck this is about for a while. It's this bottle!
The bottle.
Miss Grey Earl, I'd like you to clarify something for me.
What would that be, Mr. Wright?
Sir Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored?
Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated.
As for those labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? This guy is dead as a doornail.
Mister, what are you doing with a product of Master's research?
What did you think? I didn't have any evil intentions or nothing.
That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill.
Poison?
What? The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was the deadly poison from the bottle this guy stole from the crime scene. But is that poison in the bottle right now? If that's the case, we need a coroner.
Order, order, order! Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison? Poison? Am I gonna die?
Objection!
That's a good question. Just wait and see. Time will tell.
Yeah, I guess.
More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle.
Well, that's, remember how I told you I was like the alchemist tomato juice? Indeed. It's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times. Well, that was when I saw it on the floor. This bottle, right here. It was totally empty, and I thought, it's such a fancy-looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. They have this air of danger about them, right?
They certainly do.
So, since it was there, and I was there too, I felt we were kind of meant for each other. I thought, this bottle's so classy, I could die for it!
Yeah, you definitely could.
Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly. But if it was empty, it was probably...
I don't know. Residual poison's still kind of bad. Especially if it's really, really toxic.
Whoa, hear that? I'm gonna live! Good thing I rinsed it well before use!
Thank God. I don't know why I'm just thanking the Lord for this idiot.
But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course.
Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduke was poisoned by... Grey Earl himself, Emir. I feel like he might have committed suicide. It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself.
Sir Belduke himself?
Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide. He probably knew it. The bard. I'm trying to think of a rhyme for the bard, but I don't think so.
That is preposterous. A suicide. Inconceivable.
Objection!
Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death.
The most unnatural aspect?
Miss Grey Earl, when you were strangling Sir Belduke, he put up no fight whatsoever. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine.
It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduke was already dead. He had poisoned himself. Ugh. Damn. Did he knock over the poison on the floor somehow?
But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth?
I personally know of no poison that work instantly and cause such symptoms. Oh, you don't? I can't just tell them that it happens on TV all the time. Nope. It happens in, crime serials and stuff, in magazines. Oh, you don't have magazines? Fiction. But fiction isn't reality, I don't.
There are certain plants in this area that contain a highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduke found a way to extract that
there we go.
What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia?
The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. It is a very powerful poison. drinking it would induce a most painful death.
Oh, God. That's gotta be horrible.
And to think Sir Belduke could... But... Did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It does seem like he suffered that much.
I would like to know that too.
Miss Greyhurl.
You mean to say Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I cannot believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide.
Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value.
Maybe he knew the story he was written in and he was freaked the hell out. Just being like, I will not be manipulated.
Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note.
Well, again, the letter. I can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that confirm his suicide was a possibility.
There is a piece of evidence like that?
Is there? Give me a moment. Again, I'm just being careful because I have 2 shields. Oops.
If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been a suicide.
All right, the only thing I can think is that maybe the letter that he had sent to the storyteller indicated his death. If we can find the actual letter and not the blank letter, maybe we could figure this out.
Take that!
Yep.
That's Sir Belduke's letter. Let's see, it was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it?
This is the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note.
Objection!
What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about.
That's right. But there's one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note.
You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Grey. Witness, you stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written in it?
I don't know.
What? You don't know?
I did steal the letter, yes, but I don't know what its contents were.
You better not have thrown it in the fire or something. That would have been... Nah.
You mean you have not read it?
I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't. Miss Greyhell.
Can you tell us where that letter is now? Hopefully you have it.
I have it here.
Oh! Yay! Let's read the gossip! Yay!
You're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for.
That night, having killed Master Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it.
Okay, so you've already gone through the 5 steps of grief. Good. So you're ready to die?
So until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord?
Yes, witness?
If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud?
Oh boy.
Now that I'm here in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote.
Hopefully it has nothing to do with her.
Hold it! Miss Greyhurl,
Oh boy.
I think you should be the one to read it.
What? Why?
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
We don't need this, synchronistic nonsense, okay? Not everything is wishy-washy like a fairy tale.
Yes, you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud.
Oh, dear. She breaks out in tears. Told you so.
My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will.
Yep, suicide note.
I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night. That lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods.
The storyteller's a
What I
god,
have
though.
done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer.
Huh. Which witch are we
I
talking
have
about?
Only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter?
Oh boy.
I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
I think we know who this is.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Hello, Wilfie. How's it going?
Truth about the witch. Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grey Earl.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. Does he know about Bazella?
The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous, in defiance of her fate, had given me hope. A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next.
Nope. This asshole decided to make it a very, very sad story.
I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time.
So this is all our fault.
Pen down. My dear friend, what I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
See, now we are looking at a contradiction, because if he decided to kill himself, I mean, unless he is somehow not connected with the story, then that would mean that... Oh. Twitch has an issue. Hey, are you still... Okay, are we still connected? Hello? Okay, is the stream still on? I just had a really weird cut out there. We're still here? Okay. That's weird. Yeah, the bitrate's starting to get a little wonky. Good thing the stream's going to be ending sometime soon. I guess he killed him. I guess he knows about the witch Bazella, and he didn't want to live with that anymore. Weird. Sorry, Han. You think you broke the server? I don't know. I've had really weird internet issues as of late, so that's probably on my end. And by the way, hello, Crash.
It wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Ah, crap.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along. So, why Why did I? How could I have done that to him?
I was looking for, like, you know, a fun little breakdown. Not this. Not this. Miss Grey Earl.
My lord, what is an Inquisitor Bottom?
I think it is about time. Oh, damn it. Technically speaking, we have to burn the witch.
For the guilty verdict.
Guilty. Phoenix, find a way out of the book. Grab Jean and drive away.
The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey and charges Jean Grey Earl with being a witch. All the evidence corroborates this accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum.
What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight?
Admittedly, Miss Grey Earl did attempt to strangle Sir Belduke, but he had consumed a deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she's not guilty of murder. It doesn't matter, Phoenix. Wait, Phoenix has already technically stolen 3 girls. Layton, you do it. Yeah, it's only fair. Pick up your golden ass and get out of here. And one more thing. It also wasn't Miss Grey Earl who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. The defendant, Maya, saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Grey Earl didn't kill anyone. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone. And yet, you still want to burn her? Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone's against you, and it's super frightening. I'm not a witch, but I've been thrown into this cage and almost sentenced to something I didn't do. And now, you're about to do the same to another person? That's just not right.
I could burn you too. You harlot. Fair's fair. Is that all you have to say?
Huh?
The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire.
Maya has been falsely accused on several murders. She's probably just done by this point. I am so sick of this nonsense. But that's crazy. Why? Why, Barnum?
Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Grey Earl?
Yes.
Very well, then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Grey Earl is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the flame.
No, you can't.
Well, they can and they will. I hope there's like some sunshiny ending that turns out all the witches come back to life. The game does not have the balls to kill a child. We'll see.
Please, hold the verdict.
Oh, Espella, don't do this.
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
They thought they were achieving something, but, like, she's still a witch. You can try for not guilty all you want, but she's still a witch. Sadness.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames. That is the law of this town.
Yes,
A law
set by a crazy
written
storyteller.
by your very own father. And furthermore, a law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
That's heresy, lady.
Such insolence.
Hello, Nestor.
That's heresy! She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which
We're all pawns! Horrible pawns! We have no thought.
I shall make sure this is the last one. Since you're also keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean. The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bazella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well.
Oh, I think I see what's happening here.
You? But you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty.
I tried.
I am the Great Witch Bazella.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grayle free.
Either that or we could hold things off until we actually have a trial for you.
This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Espella, just what are you saying? I can't let you do that.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish. I'm sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia.
No! Please don't do it!
There must be another way. You don't need to do this. It's all right.
Nope. Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
Mr. Wright and Mr. Layton, I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella, your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
Judge, think about this for a second. If this were really the Great Witch Bazella, do you think that she would admit it?
I am Espella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bazella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you.
They don't have proof otherwise. Arrgh.
Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch Bazella.
Sure. Well, I certainly hope we have a Robin Hood level type of thievery of, you know, this Great Witch. A sisterly hug? Yeah. I mean, is it right? Is it true? Oh, what in the? You crazy lady!
Espella, this just isn't right. Let's go.
What kind of a monkey are you?
Give me a hand.
Oh dear, we are all arrested. We are also very arrested.
Jump over there.
Hardcore parkour.
Hurry.
They're getting away!
Hurry before they drop the cage. And why do you want to escape at this stage? Oh, do not get in the cage. No, 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 no. Oh, why?
Help me, Nick.
Move that lever back.
Quick, in here!
I mean, I'm fairly certain that Maya's not going to be burned, but... Right? Assholes!
Stop! You've got to stop!
Oh.
Maya!
She could just dust that off, right? And that's a good cliffhanger for tonight. So thanks everybody for coming out. Oh my god, why? So I feel like we're going to the storyteller had better be really, really good at writing her out of that one. She is kind of a witch, and that's why I kept on telling people, don't tell people you're a spirit medium. Okay. No amount of picker rats are going to save us. But for real, though, I think we are going to call it since I've been streaming for a good 3 hours here. And this is a good place to leave it off. And we can move into the next chapter the next time that I do the stream. Which is going to be Chapter 5, A Taste of Despair. Oh, ain't that right. Do we have another cutscene? Nope, doesn't look like it. Probably for the best. What do we do now? Again, we'll figure that one out. Yeah, no, seriously. So far, we've got 2 people that are sort of technically dead. But, you know, Storyteller can write things the way that he wants. You know, it's kind of like a soap opera. You could just write somebody in and write somebody out whenever they happen to be sick or, you know, they have to go off to the hospital. It's like, hey, it's good. They're technically dead. Oh, no, they're back. So, I mean, technically none of this is canon, so shrug. I mean, I know I've seen some cutscenes with, more cutscenes with Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright in them. I don't think they're permanently dead. So maybe get on his good side. Give the storyteller a foot rub. Okay. No, seriously, I will end this, because I have not had dinner yet, and I need to go make myself something. So that'll do it for the stream tonight. Oh. Wolfie Gray says, and then by means of Deus Ex Machina plot armor, she rises out of the flames. I don't know, maybe she turns out, maybe sure she is a witch. And a super amazing witch. See, the thing that I've thought was going to happen at some point around here is Mia was going to show up. But the thing that I've sort of been wondering with is, well, how the heck can Mia jump dimensions? I don't know if that's possible. But we'll see. I mean, now that Maya has been burned at the stake, so to speak. Alright, I'm going to do my regular old outro type of stuff. So thanks everybody who popped into this stream to say hello, say something in the chat, or just watch me for a little while. I appreciate it very much. If you want to take a look at this episode after it's done and after I'm done streaming, I'm going to be taking this and I'm going to be uploading it to the YouTube channel. I tend to cut out moments where I end up getting stuck, or, you know, situations where I have to, like, restart and go back to the beginning, which I've done that a couple of times. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be uploading it up there as soon as I have time to do so. If you want to know my stream schedule, it's Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. All of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to know some more stuff that you will probably see on the stream, again, I've been doing this retrospective of the Ace Attorney games. Completely blind aside from the first game. And I am currently doing this in anticipation and, like, preparation for playing Dual Destinies. So, I'm pumped about that. I'm really tempted to just jump in and play Dual Destinies, though. I'll be patient. Some other stuff. I've been playing Hat in Time mods, and that's been pretty fun. I've just been doing, like, random old things. I've also been working on mods here and there, but, like, extremely basic stuff at this moment. Yeah, Mario Okimon in the chat says D is going to rock. Definitely. Actually, he said D is gonna Rick at first, but anyways, there's that. Also, I've been doing a whole bunch of spooky stuff for just, you know, the fact that it's October and we're getting real close to Halloween. And tomorrow, I'm not gonna say exactly what I got planned for tomorrow, but let's just say that there's some pretty cool stuff that I have on the docket. I won't say anything more aside from that. But that I need to get a move on. So, thanks everybody for popping out. See you next time. I'll leave you with this somber music.